Hello everybody and welcome back to the Better Call Sukan podcast with Arif and Carl. Hello everybody, my name is Arif Daniel, host anda seperti biasa. Dan saya seperti biasa tidak berseorangan. Saya ada partner saya, Carl. Hello Carl.
Hai Arif, sihat?
Sihat? Sihat seperti biasa. Aku rasa very pumped. Yes, today. Because we are gonna speak about a sport yang bukan baru, yang kita tak pernah panggil guest to talk about this sport, but is another guest, tapi dia nak sembang pasal this particular sport lah juga. Alright Carl, how do you feel today?
Okay, kita pergi terus. Kita jalan
masuk
terus.
straight.
Jalan terus.
Okay, tidak ada masalah. So sports kita pada hari ini adalah rugby.
Yes.
Alright, and we're going to talk about this sports organisation. Kan, sport organisation.
Yep.
Yeah, sports organisation ni dia jauh
3 jam.
Jauh daripada kita punya tempat recording kita. So kita bawa dia ke sini, and kita nak tahu more about that. So tanpa buang masa, Carl, why don't you introduce to us siapa guest kita pada hari ini?
Okay, all the way from Kemaman, Terengganu.
Guys.
Welcome to the show, Khairul atau Besar.
Besar, betul.
Yes, welcome to the show, Khairul.
Thank you.
From Kemaman Rugby.
Kemaman Rugby, betul.
Okay, Kemaman Rugby tu in English. Kalau Melayu dia?
Melayu, the full name is Persatuan Rugby Daerah Kemaman. So it's long, so
Persatuan Rugby Daerah Kemaman.
Yep.
Persatuan Rugby.
Branding Kemaman Rugby.
Kemaman Rugby, yes.
Nice.
Very cool. Tadi Carl cakap Khairul atau Besar.
Yeah.
Ya, sebelum kita tanya you pasal you dan rugby, kenapa? Is it because of your nickname in the rugby community or what?
So Besar ni, if you look at me, I'm not the biggest athlete lah. Tapi I was probably this big when I was 15. So the name kind of stuck with me until today lah.
I see. Alright.
Sprout.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay, kita nak tanya lah, maybe before pasal Kemaman Rugby semua, kita nak tanya you, how do you started your journey as a rugby player, or how do you mula suka rugby, ataupun before that you suka sukan lain, and then tiba-tiba then you buat rugby. Yeah.
Okay.
Share with us.
So my journey, how I started playing rugby is hugely influenced by my dad lah.
Okay.
My dad lah, dia keep on telling stories about dia punya school days. Dia main rugby dekat sekolah Datuk Abdul Razak.
Okay.
So kat situ I dah dapat the interest lah. And then so I started playing rugby in Penang.
Okay.
High school Game Tajam in Penang. So dekat situ I start belajar main rugby Form 1, Form 2. My family ni move a lot from places to places lah. So macam I share dengan Arif offline tadi, I orang Kemaman. Both my parents orang Kemaman, but we never stayed in Kemaman lah. Just the truth fact lah.
Okay.
So macam I cakap tadi, I start kat Penang. Lepas tu after 2 years in Penang, I moved to Ipoh. Kat Ipoh I masuk SMK Gunung Rapat.
Okay.
Sekolah sukan negeri lah.
Okay.
If you know the national sprinter yang tu, so dia from Gunung Rapat lah. So kat situ I think my rugby journey ni bloom even further in Ipoh lah. Sekat Perak ni, if you just to share with you guys, kat Perak ni banyak powerhouse school yang ada rugby yang memang power.
Okay.
So kita ada MCKK, kita ada King Edwards, kita ada Star.
Okay.
So for a sports school macam daily school macam kita ni, is quite hard to compete against that lah. But I was lucky enough, under 15 we were the state champion lah.
Okay.
Beating all the powerhouse in Perak lah. Underdog.
Okay.
In a way. So dekat Ipoh tu I start representing the school, represent daerah, even represent the state lah.
Okay.
For MSSM, and we managed to finish third out of the whole competition lah. And then after SPM, my family moved yet again, this time around to Pahang, in Kuantan. So dekat Pahang ni, I get my first club rugby punya experience lah.
Oh, di Pahang?
Di Pahang.
Okay.
So dekat Pahang tu I start main for Pahang League, for a club, Salvo Rugby Club. Club tu pun dah tak ada sekarang. But kat situ lah I start my journey playing for clubs. During that time juga I caught the attention of the coaches lah. So I dapat to represent Pahang for Sukma.
Okay.
2008. So after that, after SUMA, I further my studies. I masuk UiTM, diploma in quantity surveying.
Okay.
So diploma in quantity surveying. Kat situ sambung lagi main rugby di UiTM Sri Skandar. Kat situ I back to Perak back to Perak. So kat situ I continue to represent Perak balik for SUMA 2010.
Okay.
So kat situ adalah I wakil UiTM, I wakil Perak for Piala Agong, which is the highest tier of rugby dekat Malaysia. And then I move I further my studies in bachelor's in quantity surveying kat UiTM Shah Alam. So kat sini kat UiTM Shah Alam ni kat Lembah Kelang ni kan dia punya rugby scene is more active lah compared to other regions in Malaysia. So kat situ I start wakil UiTM Layan lah. Dia punya team lah, UiTM Layan. So dekat situ we were the first varsity side to qualify for the Malaysia Rugby Super League. And that was in 2011 I think.
Ada Super League.
Super League. Back then ada Super League. Just before COVID lah. COVID kind of like messed things up.
Yeah, of course.
So the Super League never resumed, but that's another story. And, dekat situ, so bila main Super League ni, of course, kita punya, at least to me lah, my personal goal was at least I hopefully can represent Malaysia lah. So that was the ultimate goal. But then things didn't go my way for whatever reason. I graduated in 2012. So dah graduate tu my focus shifted lah. It's no longer on playing rugby. I think I've had enough. I've done my best. So let's move on to establish my career.
Okay.
So long story short, I accepted an offer working in Sarawak.
Oh, okay.
So I spent most of my 20s in Bintulu, Sarawak. So kat sana the goal was never to represent Malaysia. The kat sana more on social rugby lah.
Oh, sana pun ada juga rugby.
Ada. So kat situ pun kita, I mean kat situ lah I dapat my first experience managing a team. Kat situ I owe them a lot lah.
Okay.
So basically dekat Bintulu tu I learn how to manage a club. I start from a committee member. So by the time I left, I was the vice president of Bintulu Rugby. Dia panggil BRFA, Bintulu Rugby Football Association.
Okay.
So I left Bintulu in 2020. So 2020 I finally get to get back to my hometown lah, Kemaman. So I was ecstatic. So
nak give back lah.
So bila balik ke hometown ni, the feeling is different lah. I really wanted to contribute back to my hometown. And so that's it lah. That's how I came back to Kemaman lah.
Okay, I tak puas. Tadi you cakap long story short. I want the medium story. Panjang sikit. Pasal what the decision pergi Bintulu tu because of career, correct?
Yes, career.
Okay, then how did you dapat jumpa all these guys kat Bintulu?
Okay, Bintulu sebenarnya masa tu, Bintulu is a oil and gas town.
Oh, okay.
So oil and gas town.
Okay.
Most of the rugby players pun coming from Semenanjung. So kat situ, actually they started the things lah. They established a club. So kat situ I just the same mode dengan Kemaman lah. Masuk ke sana I provided some input on what to do and give our thoughts lah. Kat situ bila dah ada Bintulu Rugby ni, kita jadi macam center untuk rugby players lah dekat Bintulu tu kan. So banyak orang kat Bintulu ni weekend husband ataupun bujang yang duduk out of place. So orang tak ada nak buat apa kat Bintulu. So rugby is a game for them to at least enjoy lah. Look at for family.
Berapa lama kat Bintulu?
7 years.
Wow.
So I spend my 20s in Bintulu lah.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah.
Banyak kita observe ni.
So basically you started the love for rugby is because of your dad lah.
Yep.
Tapi masa dulu, even now, to watch rugby on television, it's very hard to it's not that easy as other sports.
Yep.
So you dengar cerita je atau you macam you play at home with your your friends ke apa ke masuk sekolah baru main?
Okay, sebenarnya bila my father told all the stories about the school days tu, dia adalah of course lah beli bola. Kat situ ada pick up lah. So I was active even from primary school. I played handball. So
I
handball was
see.
my thing lah.
Okay.
So kalau any sport with hands, okay, kaki dia tak hidup sangat.
I see.
Okay, so handball. So imagine I main handball, I need to dribble kan. So there are a lot of restriction in handball. I cannot move freely. Bila dapat bola rugby, I can run freely. So that was like a huge thing for me lah. I dapat bola, I can run freely, nak mana semua. Tak ada restriction. So that's how I pick it up lah.
Okay, I have a question. Dari kecil sampai sekarang, position that you play kat rugby. Because sekarang I tengah flashback balik pada our last season ni episode
Yes.
Khairul. The positions. You start daripada mana and sekarang kat mana, and also evolution dengan apa position yang you favourite ah.
Okay.
And also last that's one question. The other question is rugby sevens ke full ke apa?
Okay, so I'm macam cerita tadi, I memang besar. So sizing untuk orang-orang yang besar ni biasa forward lah. So I started as a prop forward. So bila I dah makin meninggi, kurus sikit, still heavy, I change from a prop forward to a lock. So kat dalam 15 ni forwards, kita ada prop, kita ada hooker, kita ada lock, kita ada flankers.
Okay.
So I started as a prop and then moved to lock lah. So all my school years I end up playing kat lock position as a forward. So bila I dah after SPM tu dah kurus sikit.
Okay.
So I ada speed. So kat situ I venture into backs lah. Kat situ I dah boleh main backs. I ada blind side wing. Itulah kalau kawan-kawan dengar ni mungkin orang gelak kot. Cannot imagine I play wing kot. but that's the journey lah. So I memang throughout my playing journey is I memang forward lah. So either lock or flanker loose forwards lah. I always love for forward
Fly
lah.
half semua tak ada.
Tak ada fly half, kena good kicking. Saya cakap tadi, kaki tak hidup lah.
Oh.
So forward ni just to to create space. Kita forward ni kita langgar, kita create space for the backs lah untuk diorang lari. So in answering your question 7 and 15 ni, dekat Malaysia ni kalau sekolah, at least back in my days lah, kita play 10 tau.
Okay.
10 side. 10 side ni macam �12 share itu tadi.
Okay.
It was founded in Malaysia. So
yeah.
itu one of the major contribution of Malaysia in rugby lah. So kita start dengan 10s. So dekat sekolah mostly 10s lah. So bila naik perform, kat situ kita dah being introduced to 15 aside lah. Full game. So I played both lah. So Suma is played in 7s.
Okay.
So I played 7 as well. If you ask me, I love 7s more.
Okay.
But I was better in playing 15s lah compared to 7s. So that's things that I need to consider lah. 7s and 15 back then.
Like your playing of all this, you cakap you suka 7, suka 15, suka 10. Do you get to choose? Like macam okay ke tak boleh macam this tournament ada tournament 7, ada tournament 10, ada tournament 15. You boleh pilih ke atau macam because like in football there's like okay there's 9 aside, 7 aside, 11 aside. So we didn't get to choose, tapi yang tu memang tournament tu ada. So macam mana?
Okay, so for me kalau kita ada aim lah where we want to go. So cakap okay, at least I nak rasa main sukma. So bila main sukma tu we already know it's a 7s game.
Okay.
We prepare for it lah. So macam tapi the majority of the game yang the bigger games in Malaysia is always 15 aside lah. Kita ada Super League, Badan Super League, and Piala Agong. So to 15s lah. So it depend on what we want lah. So actually we can choose our route lah.
Okay.
Whether we go 7s or 15s lah. It's up to us lah. We can, so in answering your question, we can basically choose lah.
Okay. And like contohnya your playing career, cakap main sukma, which is I think it's also a very big one. Is that the highest that you've ever played? Wakil states? Tapi tu bukan wakil Terengganu, right?
Bukan.
Okay.
So macam saya tadi, just recap my 7th journey. I played kat Pahang sebab I dekat Pahang masa tu.
Okay.
2008. Lepas tu bila I further my studies, UiTM Sri Iskandar, I back to Perak.
Oh, masa dekat UiTM tu you buat main sukma?
Actually yang the first sukma, I tengah tunggu SPM.
Wow. I see.
Tengah tunggu SPM 18 lah at that time, 18. So then my second Sukma wakil Perak lah, setengah dekat Perak masa tu. And then my third Sukma 2011 also for Perak lah. So itulah Perak rugby is very close to heart lah. Walaupun I'm from Kemaman tapi Perak lah. I
have a question. Piala Agong, like how was it? Because I never asked this question to Khairul.
Okay.
How did it started? If you know the history, and also like how big it is, how big it is in Malaysia.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, Piala Agong started very long ago lah. I think 40s, 50s dah ada. So it was dominated by the uniform force lah, ATM dengan polis. So in the early years, either ATM or police. So those are the two teams that dominate lah. So throughout the years, kita ada, when the game grew even bigger, Selangor took dominance I think for like couple of years. And then so now bila cakap tadi, bila kita dah tak ada Super League, Piala Agong become the highest tier of rugby lah in Malaysia. So it's kalau kita nak tengok whether dia sebenarnya macam duplicate tau. Super League dengan Piala Agong ni pretty much the same level of rugby, same players, but they playing for different teams. So right now it's evolving to become the highest tier of rugby and the highest competition in Malaysia lah right now.
So macam like how's the formatting like? Because again lah, I'm just reason I'm asking because like I tak sempat nak tanya Khairul the questions from the last episode, from the last time we had a rugby conversation. So how's the formatting like? I mean like the Malaysian Rugby League and also Piala Agong.
Okay, so rugby Super League lah. Okay, Super League is played by clubs.
Okay.
So the club back then macam saya dulu UiTM, kita play for Selangor League.
Okay.
So the top 2 from Selangor will qualify to back then it was known as NICC, National Interclub Competition.
Okay.
So tapi during the last competition it was known as Malaysia Rugby Super League Division 1.
Okay.
So dia Division 1 lah. So bila kita qualify to NICC, we need to go against others from different state league. Macam contohlah Terengganu ada Terengganu League. So siapa yang menang Terengganu League akan pergi NICC. Siapa menang Johor akan pergi NICC lah. So based on clubs that win that competes in the state league will go to NICC. Then after they win the NICC, they will be promoted to Super League lah. So that's the Super League. So macam Piala Agong, probably the original intention was siapa yang bagus from that state will represent the state lah. So that's the original format. So tak ada club, dia based on state. So the state governing body akan run the team lah, rather than the club. So but now it's evolving sebab dia dah jadi almost Super League punya style. Sebab they don't focus more on the local talents anymore. They just focus on getting the best players to play with them. So it's a bit concerning if you ask me.
How so?
Because the grassroots, they don't have a place to go. If you ask me. Kalau just to share. For example, in Terengganu, if you are a good player, the highest level you can go right now is Sukma. So for you to penetrate representing Terengganu is pretty much a closed door, because they wanted to get the best out of the best in Malaysia to play for the state, instead of grooming the local talents, or at least complementing the local talents with the best of talents in Malaysia. So I mean, that's the best way to go lah. Of course, you wanted the result. You want the result, and you need to keep a balance between getting the best talent from whatever sources and developing your grassroots players lah.
Wow. Dah lama macam ni, like perkara macam ni ada, or like there's changes already? Slowly.
At least bila Super League tak ada, so players ni they need game time.
Of course.
Yes.
So they will grab whatever opportunities they have. So it's back to supply and demand lah. So there's a demand for it. I don't blame the players. Players will only play. So it dah go through. I think this situation has been happening for, I think, since COVID lah. Since COVID is getting more, I would say a bit more ridiculous lah. So dah jadi macam scouting at will. Tak ada guideline, tak ada governance. I might get in trouble by saying this, but I say what I want to say.
Cakap je.
So
Yeah.
itulah. I mean, they need to have a succession plan lah. For me, but why I say ridiculous imagine for a 7-side team, you have 12 registered player per team.
Okay.
You cannot even get half of the team from local talents. Yeah, I mean you only utilize 3 out of 12 from local, and the other 9 you take it from other parts of Malaysia. To me is
So basically the focus is not 100%. I mean like dorang sambil lewa ke atau?
Yeah, I mean to me the way I see it is they focus too much on result lah. Result over anything. That's not how you grow players.
Yeah.
At least to me, yeah.
And also it's not like it's not the biggest sport, so hence the attention is less.
Yep.
How do media cover all these events? Curious.
Okay, if you ask me on the kalau TV, I think there's not much
coverage. Okay.
More social media?
But in social media we have a lots of online broadcaster that broadcast the game via social media. So that's our main broadcasting lah for rugby. I think it has been like that since
for a while, since
yeah,
boleh buat
quite a while lah.
Boleh buat social media broadcasting live kan.
Okay. Dia punya cerita ni is like we know the in-depth of the sport. Thank you very much for sharing about that.
No problem.
Now we want to go in-depth about how you started with Kemaman Rugby. I think because of all that, you mulalah nak start something for your roots kan, Kemaman. So why don't you explain to us macam mana bermulanya Kemaman Rugby?
Okay. So bermulanya Kemaman Rugby ni I think started from the early 2010s lah. Kat situ kita ada people like me yang memang tak duduk kat situ pun, maybe the parents je duduk kat situ, duduk kat Kemaman, yang belajar kat luar. So all of these rugby players who live outside of Kemaman. So bila cuci SEM kita balik and kita tempat orang main rugby just join. That's how it originally started lah, from people Kemaman punya orang yang memang duduk luar balik Kemaman cari kat mana nak main rugby. So that's how it initially started. So then after that ada sekolah yang start offer rugby in Kemaman, sekolah menengah.
Yeah, because not all schools ada rugby.
Even up to this very day, kita ada 3 to 4 schools only in Kemaman yang offers rugby. So these are I would say the lifeline of Kemaman Rugby lah. As long as we have this school, they will continue to produce players for Kemaman Rugby. So in primary school banyak. Primary school ada I think dalam 12 sekolah yang ada touch rugby. Tak ada contact lagi. At least for in Kemaman lah. Other parts dah start. So bila ada sekolah rendah, ada sekolah menengah, and ada some of the teens that look forward to find a team to play rugby. So a group of teachers they were the pioneers of Kemaman Rugby. I'm not included in that group because I was in Bintulu still. So they wanted to streamline all the rugby activities in Kemaman from under 12, under 18 and club rugby, and streamline under one association lah. So that is how Kemaman Rugby was founded lah.
I see. So you're not the founder of Kemaman Rugby actually?
Yeah, not the first batch of the one.
Tapi you meneruskan legacy.
But not long after that lah. Kemaman Rugby was registered under Sports Commissioner Malaysia in 2019. So I was there in 2020 lah. So ada half a year punya gap lah from the initial start until I was part of the committee.
So macam like how things are for rugby. You did mention that tadi, that because of COVID, the Malaysian Rugby League macam bit all over the place. Like how is rugby recovering from COVID, especially with your work at Kemaman?
Yeah, and like it's not in the Klang Valley, right? Yeah, and you said like 3 sekolah je, and it's not the main sports. Yeah, so what's the challenge? Yeah, how is
this COVID?
At least from Kemaman Rugby's perspective. So how we operate Kemaman Rugby is we have a 3-pronged strategy whereby we go by PRO. So the first is we intend to provide platform. The platform for all to enjoy rugby. Whether you want to represent Sukma, or you want to play seriously, or you want to go to the highest level, we provide that platform. Or you just want to play socially. So that's another platform that we wanted to provide to all rugby goers in Malaysia, at least in Kemaman. And then we run training programs. So we run training programs for all, whether you want to improve yourself or you just simply want to stay on a healthy lifestyle. We do that too. And then we organize events, tournaments, just to keep rugby active in Kemaman. So
di antara Kemaman saja ke the events adalah macam Terengganu, other states can come and
So in fact, just to share with you guys, early this year in February, we organised our first national level competition in Kemaman. It was the first, known as Kemaman 7.
I see.
So we depend on what do we want to aim on that particular event, what the output, because I think it's important for us to establish Kemaman Rugby as a brand. It has multiple effects. Once we have a stronger brand, it will help us to find sponsors, which ultimately help us execute more programs. So I think that's pretty much what we do since COVID lah. Since COVID, so it's slowly coming back. I mean, even without Super League, rugby is still thriving. It's still growing day by day in Malaysia. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, like what �12𝙊 says lah. We didn't know that, but it's actually really big, this rugby punya community.
Kat Kemaman main kat mana lah?
Okay. Kat Kemaman, we are still struggling to find a home ground for us. So for training, we train in Padang Astaka. Padang Astaka is like the macam recreational park. We train at night. So mostly kita ada daytime job. So we cannot make it by 6 PM. Lepas kerja dah datang, we cannot make it lah. So we train at night. So lepas Isyak 8:30 until 10:30. So that's where we train lah. So it's a work in progress. We have been advocating to get our home feel. So currently, if we have any matches, it will be played in College Vocational Kemaman. So that's the only rugby field in Kemaman with posts and whatnot. So that's one. And currently, I think I'm glad to share that alhamdulillah we managed to get a feel lah. But it's still a long way to go, and it requires a lot of hard work lah. So the field is located in Kemasik. It's a bit far from the main town of Kemaman, but it's still I mean it's a great start for us lah to actually obtain a home field for us.
So because like I'm very interested because this is the first time in a while kita borak pasal things outside of Klang Valley.
Yes.
So we talk about towns in Kemaman and so on and so forth. How is the neighbouring towns? Do they come to you or do you go to them? What's that relationship like in terms of like rugby?
Or do they have
antara bandar?
Kertih rugby ke apa?
I'm happy that you pointed it out. Kemaman, our next border is the next district is Dungun. And then down south we have Kuantan. So we actually have a rivalry cup between these two teams. With Dungun we have a Coastal Cup. We started in 2021, 15-a-side. Played once a year. It is played during the Terengganu Rugby League. Every time we go up against them, it's a cup for grab. So who won the match? So, but for our brotherly rivalry team in Kuantan, we have Border Cup. So it's an interesting
dynamic.
Between. But I mean, we need that. We need that. We cannot survive on our own. That's the point that we want to make. And initially, the Dungun Rugby team is part of Kemaman. They were part of Kertih Rugby. Kertih Rugby used to reside in the Kemaman.
So memang ada Kertih Rugby ke?
Yes. Kertih is an oil and gas town. So we have lots of people there. So they decided to go separate ways from Kemaman, and they established Dungun Rugby. And I take that very positively because we need more teams in Terengganu at least. And it creates kalau dalam bahasa Melayu dia memakmurkan rugby di kawasan setempat lah. I mean I like that idea lah.
Nak tanya you, Kemaman Rugby ni dia main for fun ke atau datang to train to play for the cup?
Okay, kita macam saya cakap tadi, we provide platform for all.
Oh yeah.
So, ada orang nak main,
betul.
ada orang nak main touch je malam-malam. Dia main rugby touch. Ni nak main tu je, main tackle tak nak, sakit badan je. Okay, then ada I over the years we met a lot of actually yang habis SPM. So usually this batch yang semangat. Abang, I want to play for Suma lah, I want to play for State League lah. So these people, we need to provide them platform.
Okay.
So this is the way to go lah. Kita buat team, kita memang Terengganu League memang kita participate every year.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off there. Because I think what you're gonna potentially, what I feel that we're gonna say is we're gonna segment towards apa nak cakap the Terengganu State League. How is it being recepted by people from Terengganu?
Okay. It started way back in, I think, in early 2010s.
Okay.
Initially it was created in a carnival way, meaning that it was played in 3 days time. So that was the start lah. So eventually it grew even further. The teams grew up until 10 to 12 teams. But as recent as last year, for whatever reason, the State League was played only for between 4 teams in Terengganu. But we played between the teams, and then the top 2 teams advanced to the final lah.
Okay.
So in Terengganu Rugby League, the highest achievement is we finished second lah. 2022. That time was 8 teams. So if you look at the crowd during the finals of last year, I was the tournament director.
Okay.
Also for Terengganu Rugby League last year, and Terengganu is one of the state that has a rugby stadium in Malaysia. If you didn't know. Stadium Rugby Tengku Muhammad Ismail.
Where is that?
In Kuala Terengganu.
I see.
Kuala Terengganu. So kat situ kita tengok, it's a full house lah. It's good to see lah. So if you ask about reception among the locals, then it's there. And we just need to have more consistent teams in the State League, because like I say, it fluctuates lah. As low as 4 teams. Dulu kita ada 12, 8, 10, and it's never a regular numbers of teams lah. So
no, because like I remember having this conversation with a relative of mine. Was it this recent raya or the previous raya? Cakap pasal, kenapa kita tak boleh replicate macam EPL kan? Diorang ada main time Christmas. Kenapa kita tak boleh main macam, like rugby, bola or whatever during raya? Second day raya buat something. Semua dah balik kampung dah. That's the bigger crowd. What do you think of that? I mean, like, is it should we do more something like that ke atau apa?
Okay, in terms of Malaysia rugby calendar, I think there's a room for improvement.
Okay.
At the very least. Why I say that? Because now, without Rugby Super League, so the highest competition is Piala Agong.
Yes.
Piala Agong is played after our Asian Rugby Championship, where Malaysia where Malaysia competes with the top Asian nations.
Okay.
Currently in ARC we have Malaysia, Hong Kong, Korea, and the newcomer is UAE.
Okay.
So these are the top 4 teams. Japan is a different level. So they already compete with the Pacific Nations Cup. So they are out of the equation. So now there are 4. So when you have Piala Agong played after ARC, there are no match fitness that Malaysian players can have.
Okay.
I mean to train themselves for the ARC.
Okay.
So like for now, ARC is played in May. So imagine from January to May, they have no 15th competition in Malaysia.
Okay.
Which will help them thrive in ARC. So in answering your question, that I think we need to accept the reality that Super League is not coming anytime soon.
Okay.
So how do you fix this? Is by accommodating the Agong Cup, Piala Agong, for the interest of the Bunga Raya our national side.
Yeah.
And you fix it in a way that it benefits all the players in Malaysia.
That's cool. Steady. And like that is the challenge.
Yep.
Yeah. So as like organisation, how do you face that challenge to help the rugby society?
Okay, I think at least for Kemaman Rugby, we are struggling in a sense that we don't have a pathway that connects teams like a district team like mine at Kemaman Rugby to the top level. So we don't have that pathway yet. So it's not clear. So I think maybe the National Sporting Association could come up with a pathway because it has always been said that Malaysia aims to go to the World Cup, and it has been said before, but I'm not seeing it become a reality, at least before we create a pathway for the players. Because right now all the players are basically based in Lembah Kelang. So for the players that live outside of it, it's pretty much impossible for them to represent unless they go and play in Lembah Kelang. So there's no pathway, because macam saya cakap tadi lah, Super League dulu you menang State League, then you go for the NICC kan. So that's how you get discovered. So now bila dah tak ada, how you discover these talents? They are there. So the good thing about Malaysia is we have abundance of talents.
Okay.
I used to speak with one of the coaches in Singapore. We are so jealous of you. You talents kat Malaysia ni ridiculous. Banyak. You punya, kalau sevens team tu, at least you can have 3 teams that could easily compete with the other nations, at least in Southeast Asia lah. So that's I mean, we need to capitalize on that lah.
Okay, faham. In that kan, I want to go back to that inter-town relationship, because you mentioned like we have the Klang Valley bubble and we have outside of the bubble. You know, like you did mention pasal we need to strengthen the grassroots apa semua kan. Is there any like macam efforts from other towns around Malaysia that macam Kemaman, jom kita buat something, like someone from Kota Kinabalu ke or Kanga ke? Is there any like people reaching out to you guys?
Actually banyak.
Okay.
Banyak. I mean, just to share, our Kemaman Rugby biggest asset is our social media.
Okay.
So our social media ni portrays all the activities that we do all throughout the year.
Okay.
So people can see what we do. So actually we have contacts from Keningau Rugby.
Okay.
Also reach to us. I mean, they ask us how we do things. You know, just to share. We have last year we have Persatuan Rugby Kuala Kangsar.
Okay.
Who came to our jersey launching, and again we share all. I mean, at least on the operational things on how we run Kemaman Rugby, and the list keep on going. I mean, there's a lot of teams that wanted to emulate what we do. At least from the off-field side, because we excel in that. And then because on-field is a different matter lah, coaching and whatnot. Okay, you are the good coach, players, then on how you manage the club. So in answer to your question, memang banyak lah teams from outside of Kemaman reaching us, ask for pointers lah.
Okay, so there is a potential to like revitalize the Malaysian Rugby League lah, kan? Because like there's a lot of people.
Demand is there. People keep on asking. I mean, to be fair to our National Sporting Association, Malaysia Rugby, the main committee has been. I mean, the new committee is elected. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, end of last year or early this year lah. So there are a bunch of new guy leading Malaysia Rugby, and they need all the time and all the support that they can get. And it makes sense for them to not create Malaysia Rugby Super League for now. And but the clock is ticking. We need eventually have that Super League.
Okay, faham. I mean, like you did mention that last year was 4 team, then the previous year was 8. Who are the teams? I mean, like you did mention like UiTM, but siapa lagi inside the league? Okay,
macam dalam Terengganu, kita ada yang persatuan berdaftar dengan Persatuan Sukan. Kita ada Kemaman, kita ada Dungun, kita ada Marang, kita ada Besut. So yang ini yang persatuan daerah yang ada dalam Terengganu. So other teams include UNIZA, Universiti Sultan Zainal Abidin. Kita ada UMT, Universiti Terengganu. Kita ada PDRM Terengganu. And I think that's about it lah.
That one in Terengganu je lah kan? Okay, but for Malaysia?
Kalau Malaysia.
For Malaysia, top team banyak. Kalau Lembah Kelang, kita ada Cobra. Sembilan kita ada Negeri Sembilan Wanderers, NS Wanderers. Kalau kat Johor kita ada SSTMI, Tsunamis. banyak club. Kalau Super League, we can easily fit all the teams in Malaysia lah. Super League. So the demand is always there.
Cobra is the one that �12𝙊𝙍𝙍 said before.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
And like contohnya, do you cater for just Kemaman people atau contohnya orang lain outside of Kemaman? Contohnya dia from Kuala Terengganu, tapi dia rasa dia nak main for Kemaman. Is that possible?
Actually, that is one of the most asked question in our Instagram. So our admin have been telling us, ni soalan paling banyak. Boleh bang, saya daripada Johor, saya nak main Kemaman Rugby, boleh bang? Saya daripada Kuala Terengganu. In short, kita tak ada provide like a facility for them or accommodation for them to stay. But as long as they can make the travel and they can make the training session, we open our doors.
What is the reason people want to join you guys? Is it because you guys are doing something
Different?
Yeah.
If you ask me, macam ni, kita every month kita mesti ada something yang kita buat untuk community rugby di Kemaman.
Okay.
There's never been one month where kita tak ada buat apa. Tak ada. Kita every month kita ada event.
Bulan puasa pun ada.
Bulan puasa pun kita ada Kemaman, kita ada Ramadan Touch. Malam every night lepas tarawih kita ada touch. Every month. So ada event. Even this coming weekend pun kita ada Kemaman Beach Rugby, which I think Kemaman is easily associated with beach lah.
Okay.
So I think that captures the
main rugby dekat pantai.
Beach rugby.
Oh, wow, that's so cool, man.
Beach rugby. So that, I think that catch the attention of the younger generation lah. To them, mereka tengok, oh, Kemaman ni ada tempat untuk aku main rugby. So they generally, even daripada Kuantan pun ada travel 70 kilometers from Kuantan to Kemaman every day to join us. So it's common lah.
So basically, my question I nak tanya you macam, how's the number, the recipients of like people, macam mana sambutan orang terhadap Kemaman Rugby? So maksudnya numbers dia, a specific number that you going to say, and it's not just Kemaman people lah. Yeah, right?
Yep. Okay, kalau kita tengok our 2024 registration,
okay,
we have up to 100, less than 105 registered players under Kemaman Rugby.
Oh yo, lot.
So ada yang macam saya cakap tadi, ada yang memang parents duduk Kemaman tapi dia study luar. Ada yang daripada Kuantan, ada yang daripada Kuantan tu they registered with us lah. So the pool player is there lah. So we never, restrict ourselves to just for the people of Kemaman. But if you're in Kemaman, please, the team is basically for you. So we welcome.
So ada je lah, like every month ada recreational punya sessions.
Yep.
I see. And then you also provide to orang yang nak nak main serious pun ada.
Betul.
Wow.
Banyak.
And you don't have padang rugby?
Yes. It's a blessing in disguise lah. Bila kita aktif macam ni, we manage to catch the attention of
I
others.
see.
And it doesn't stop us lah. We need to be creative lah. Macam even in Kemaman 7 itu, we decide to, sebab the only rugby field in Kemaman is in qualificational. Qualificational ni a bit ke dalam lah, if you ask me. It's not by the roadside, not in the. So bila Kemaman 7 ni, we talk among ourselves within the committees that we need this to be a major event for Kemaman, and then it needs to be by at least by the major roads in Kemaman. Orang datang, they know that there are other rugby in Kemaman. So we rented out college Kemaran Tinggi Bara punya padang, which macam ada mini stadium. So people tengok, ada rugby, they stop by, datang masuk tengok. And it was one of the most I think rewarding moment juga lah.
How many people are there in the community? Like macam, I'm not the number or participants. Contohnya adalah your crew. You're the only one ke yang handle the sebab you doing PRO kan? You provide and you run and you do event. You organize.
Yep.
So to organize something for a community, not just community, takes a lot of effort and time. So berapa orang yang korang?
Okay, so our committee members currently, as of our latest AGM, kita ada 15 committee members.
15? Wow.
So I think this is active, very active.
Oh.
So I think this is the challenge of amateur club lah. Be it for any sport.
Okay.
You need to find the right personnel to execute the job, and then you need to understand that people have different day job.
Yeah.
So ada orang peak mungkin macam cikgu sekolah, mungkin dia peak masa awal tahun pendaftaran sekolah. Ada orang macam engineer oil and gas, mungkin dia ada turnaround shutdown, dia busy that time. So we need to accommodate that. People will peak at their daytime job in different times, and you need to put the correct person at the correct portfolio. Contoh macam kita ada our one of committee member ni, dia good in arts and creative punya part. All the designing baju, jersey bagi dia. Kita ada good in social media, kita bagi dia. Yang juga good in finance. So we put the right people in the correct places lah. I think that has been our if you ask me, one of the key success factor lah for Kemaman Rugby.
That's so good to have people. And do you welcome people more to be part of the
of course.
organization?
We open our doors to. I mean, we need the fresh perspective.
Yes.
We always strive for improvement. I mean, we might think that we are doing okay right now, and then the next couple of years, due to the changes that we haven't accommodated yet, we're not going to be able to continue to do things our way. So we welcome our doors to people, especially in the town of Kemaman, to come and join Kemaman Rugby, for the betterment of rugby in Kemaman.
Adakah like you said you have 15 people, and because to cater for to provide for them to opportunities to run the events and to organize everything, adakah the Terengganu punya spirit ramai orang ni only for Kemaman ke, atau different other places like Kuala Terengganu, Dungun, ramai macam you guys juga?
Kalau if you look at the numbers, lain lah. Kita I would say kita lagi banyak lah compared to other parts of the town.
Okay.
So other parts of Terengganu. Dungun is getting there.
Okay.
Walaupun kita rival, tapi we still, I mean, healthy punya competition lah. Kuala Terengganu is more on school rugby lah. Dekat sekolah kat Kuala Terengganu tu ada sekolah-sekolah yang memang ada rugby since 70s, 80s. So dia memang dah lama. So kalau persatuan sukan, if you ask me, there's no other place like Kemaman lah for rugby.
Nice. Apa panggil ni? So you did mention banyak gila aku. I like a lot. I'm processing a lot of things lah, which is good. The highs and lows of what you have done. What are the highs and lows?
Highs and lows, of course, financial has always been a struggle for amateur club. I think you can make sense of this lah. Kadang ada community members use our own money. So I think that is one of the low points lah. Kadang penat, all day buat event, balik to the family, and esok sambung daytime job, kan? So that's the high and lows lah. Ada sometimes we struggle, and we cannot stop lah at the point of struggle. We need to continue. I think that's it lah. Not much of a struggle lah. I think it's helped by our passion juga lah. Bila dah minat ni, I mean, we cannot stop lah.
Jatuh cinta. But I think the high must be the event that you said the other day.
Yep. I think that event was successful. Even we handed over our post-event reports to our sponsors, and they were happy to see the numbers. And yeah, that's one of the beauty of it.
Is it a yearly event going to be? Is it going to be a yearly event?
It's okay.
Mesti orang nak lagi.
Yeah, people already asking to tahun depan ada lagi tak? Nak. I mean, there's a communication between the committees that we want to run 7 for this year and next year 10. So alternate between 10 and 7. So that's the current plan right now. Okay.
Macam mana you guys mula nak run this? How do you, because you said there are some other organizations that look up to you guys. So how do you look up to anyone else ke, a different society ke, to run this? Yeah.
if you ask me personally, I look up to a few clubs in Malaysia. One of it is Royal Selangor Club. They have good training facilities. They have a good social media team. So that's one of my favorite team in Malaysia, in the sense that we want to emulate them. So other than that, maybe I missed this point earlier. I also do player representation. Players. So if you ever heard about one of the Malaysian players who played in Australia, so I was the one managing them.
Okay.
So
Dia dari Kemaman?
no, we knew back in Bintulu. So he eventually grew to be a national player. And he came to me and he shared that he wanted to play abroad lah. So we managed to get him a contract in Perth.
Nice.
For University of Western Australia, UWA, playing for Western Australia Premier. So one of it is I've always looked up to Australian rugby punya grassroots. So I've shared a lot in my personal social media account that imagine kalau Australia dia punya club league ni kan pro lah, semi pro lah, highest pun semi pro. So satu team tu, satu club dia ada 5 team. Imagine one club playing for Division 1, dia panggil Premier, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. Imagine one club ada 4 grade. So each team tu ada 15 players, ada 75 players, active players that they play.
Club tu je?
Club tu saja, satu club. So imagine all the club doing the same. So I always look
to Australia.
Australian punya grassroots lah. But even though they struggle lah, sebab Australia dia compete against rugby league. Rugby league ni another I would say macam another mazhab or rugby lah. They rugby but they play differently, and they also compete against Australian football, AFL. So walaupun they have good grassroots, but they struggle to get the best talent in the country, because they eventually go to NRL or AFL, Australian Football League. So.
Wow.
And you provide that contract for people also?
I help accommodate people, facilitate and negotiate.
You ke atau Kemaman Rugby?
That's on me.
I see. Wow. Ush, memang kalau apa orang kata you memang bleed rugby lah.
Rugby.
Memang that rugby Wow. Your passion is really macam, after listening to you, memang nampak yang memang semangat rugby you tetap berjiwa lah. Like
it's good because like again, sorry to cut you off, Arif. It's macam, I think it's the first time in a long time we got someone from outside of Klang Valley to share what's beyond the veil.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Tak, macam like also thank you also. Macam mana, like besides social media, like also how do you, like people, orang lain nak buat macam you, and then how do you start, like macam okay,
what advices?
What advices and
macam Kemaman Rugby, so anybody can establish a club. Tapi it's about doing the right things early on. Macam one of it is berdaftar.
Yes.
So we always advocate untuk orang yang baru nak establish a club or persatuan sukan to berdaftar dengan Persatuan Sukan. So one of the many benefits is that thanks to KBS juga, we enjoy the benefits of sports grant from KBS all over the years. So I think this sport grant really help lah team kecil macam kita ni. So from the get go, you need to do things the right way. Daftar accordingly, and then for them to establish a thriving team is, if you need to find a set of people. Kalau ada, to me you ada 4-5 orang yang memang passionate about creating a club, dah cukup. And then you collaborate. Collaboration is important for me.
Yeah, of course.
You there's nothing that there's always more things that you can reach through collaboration.
Wow. What is the future that you see of Kemaman Rugby the next 5 years or 10 years?
Okay, for Kemaman Rugby, our long-term goal is always having our home field.
Okay.
So there has been plans of finding investors to further invest in our home field, and that will be the first, I would say, public rugby field or rugby field belong to a club in Terengganu at least.
Yeah.
So that has always been our long-term goal. And I joke to one of the committees. I say, I'll never stop Kemaman Rugby until we get a field lah. At least kita dapat padang dulu. Then whatever happens after that. Yeah.
Wow, I admire your desire. Yeah, dia punya apa? Grit dia, kemahuan tu. And I hope we all from Better Call Sukan hope that you will find, the right way, the right people to get that goal.
Yep. And then on that note, since our first year of establishment, we already projected growth, 15 to 20% growth. How we measure this 15 to 20% is through our expenditure. So we can already see how much we spend for that particular year, and projected the expenses for the following years. So we are expecting a continuous growth for at least for the 5 upcoming years, 15 to steady growth of 15 to 20% through our expenditure tracking lah. So that's how that's what we aim to continually grow Kemaman Rugby lah, we track our expenditure as well lah.
Wow, what a fulfilling podcast episode again. Memang boleh kata cover betul banyak from tengok rugby. And before we end, sebenarnya I lupa nak tanya, maybe Carl pun terlupa. Like, this is not about Kemaman Rugby, it's about you.
Okay.
Main rugby ni is a very sport yang banyak yang lasak-lasak. Sebab macam �12 tu, dia pernah cerita dengan kita orang, dia ada injury here and there. Like, do you have any injuries? And like also,
injury, it's always been a hot topic lah.
Yeah.
Kalau if you look at my body, apa je yang tak injured lagi?
Kaki pun gede.
Sama lah macam �12.
So I fractured my ankle. I've done ACL reconstruction on both knees. I fractured my collarbone, dislocated my shoulders, and I think the list goes on, a concussion and whatnot. But it's a good thing right now. Even at World Rugby stage, they are paying a lot of attention to concussion management. Dulu back then main, collapse, bangun, kemudian cuci muka, continue main. Sekarang tak boleh. Concussion protocol very, very strict.
Yeah.
You ada signs of protocol, 14 days at least you cannot play.
Oh.
So I think we cannot associate injuries directly to the game. Sometimes your body is not up for it. Contoh macam one of my ACL, it's not due to the contact during rugby pun. I run and I change direction. So it's not due to the sport. It's how you take care of your body. And your body dah wear and tear punya kan. So but it's a good thing that World Rugby is taking serious attention on keeping the game safe. From I start play rugby until now, there are a lot of measures put in place to keep the game safe and it's always leading to a good direction .
Okay, nice.
Last one tadi you cakap, I was very intrigued. Cakap ada beach rugby. Adakah ada sama macam rugby on field? Beach rugby
actually dia punya set of rules tu dah lama. Kita daripada Federation International Touch. So touch ni it's a different sport. They don't recognize themselves as rugby, but it's more similar to rugby lah.
Adik-beradik lah.
Adik-beradik lah in a way. So beach rugby ni dia ada banyak format. Ada yang full contact rugby, full contact beach rugby, tackle. Ada yang touch, ada yang fun touch, ada yang ikut FIT, ada. So it's up to the organisers apa yang you nak sebenarnya. Kan? So for us, kita adopt some of the rules and regulation by FIT, and we try to make it our own lah. So I think it's always good to have a tournament that relates to the community . Beach has always been a huge part of people in Kemaman. So is a good step.
What's the age actually? You kata tadi banyak after SPM semua. So like, what's the oldest participant that you ever had?
Oldest
And youngest
participant.
if you...
Okay, oldest kita ada up to 40, 45 pun ada main.
Still
Still main. Youngest kita ada up until as young as 9 years old. So actually last year kita baru start. Kita buat one major, macam kita buat masa Hari Sukan Negara.
Okay.
Hari Sukan Negara kita introduce Kemaman touch. So kat situ kita ada under 12 lelaki, kita ada under 12 perempuan, and kita ada under 18 as well as open. So kat situ is the first taste of whereby kita combine all the age group playing. So another one, coming in June, we wanted to conduct another tournament which is known as Kemaman Rugby Carnival.
Wow.
So Kemaman Carnival ni ada under 12 lelaki perempuan, ada under 18 and but then full contact rugby. So and I would like to take this opportunity as well to thank KBS for approving our Dana Sukan community. So which will fully utilize to the Kemaman Rugby Carnival lah.
I see. Carl, any more questions before we go to the segment 4?
All good for me. I'm educated.
Yes. Do you have anything that you want to share before we go to segment 4?
I think that's it lah.
Okay, before we go to segment 4, then would you mind telling the penonton dan pendengar, also thank you penonton dan pendengar yang dengar to us to the end, yang whoever is driving daripada Kuantan nak drive ke Kemaman to play with Kemaman Rugby, sambil-sambil tu dengar Khairul. Do you have any shout outs, or also you can promote your Kemaman Rugby to people?
Okay. So for Kemaman Rugby, we are still in the stage of finalizing our sponsors for 2024. So we have lots of perks that is available for the sponsors, and we have a highly decorated sponsorship prospectus that we can share to our sponsors. This is your time. If you have a business in Kemaman, do reach us, and hopefully we can create a symbiotic relationship between Kemaman Rugby and our sponsors. And for those who are looking forward for our merchandise in 2024, so stay tuned. InsyaAllah it will be coming in by June.
And like kalau orang yang nak main dengan you guys,
nak main,
reach you guys?
You can reach us through our social media, Kemaman Rugby, for all social media. We have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay.
Then thank you so much,
Thank you.
Khairul. We go to segment 4. Alright, are you ready for the questions?
Yeah.
Before kita habis, a quick one, yeah? Okay, which club do you support for kalau rugby? Kalau tak pun, rugby is mostly nationals lah, international. So speaking of the World Cup that we had in 2023, yeah.
Okay, kalau team that I support, 15s, cliche sikit lah, All Blacks lah.
Okay.
Kalau Sevens, I like Fiji Sevens.
Okay.
Fiji. And then for club, I support the Blues. Blues ni Auckland based side.
Okay.
Play for
New Zealand.
Super Rugby Pacific.
Okay.
Favorite athlete and coach of all time?
Coach, I have to give it to maybe orang tak kenal sangat, Mike Friday. Mike Friday ni is a Sevens coach who used to coach Kenya and now is coaching the US Sevens.
Okay.
So I follow his journey lah. A lot of things that he has done to elevate rugby in America, especially on in Seven side lah.
Okay. Athlete?
Athlete. Outside of rugby, I love Usain Bolt.
Oh, okay.
Usain Bolt is all the stories that he shares through his journey. And for rugby is the no other than Jonah Lomu. Jonah Lomu is our rugby first global superstar, and the late Jonah Lomu. So he's the first player to score 8 tries in the Rugby World Cup. So nobody has surpassed, but equal him adalah surpass him tak yet.
Nice.
Kalau bukan, kan tadi kata kalau potong you bleed rugby kan, in a different universe lah. Kalau bukan rugby, apa you would be in?
I I always love to watch hockey.
Okay.
But sekolah I mungkin tak ada hockey, so it's either hockey or handball lah. Handball tadi memang I main daripada primary school. It's either hockey or handball lah. I need to choose a sport lah. I mesti pilih lah either one lah.
Okay. So what sports that you rasa that you macam tak tahu lagi tapi nak belajar?
In fact, dalam one of your episode, I was intrigued by underwater hockey. Oh, it's interesting lah. I mean, I tak tahu pun ada hockey lah. It's
Nanti Kemaman underwater.
Kemaman underwater.
Corrosion.
Dah dekat dengan laut.
Dah dekat laut lah, boleh je. Nanti Rosion kalau dengar.
Wah. Alright, so Better Call Sukan adalah sebuah podcast yang kita bawa anyone who wants to talk about anything that related to sports, tak kisah. So in the future, kalau ada anyone or any type of sports atau even guest ke, who do you want us to call? Your personal
lah. I think if you can get our personnel from National Sporting Association of Rugby, Malaysia Rugby. So if you can get one of those personnel to come here, I mean, to share what are the plans, because they are newly elected committee members. So it's good for them to shed a light on what's their planning going forward, and we all could benefit for it.
Okay.
Nice. And do you have any quotes or kata-kata sayings in you yang macam that you keep in you ke atau your organisation? Yeah.
Okay, I have this one quote. The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement.
Oh.
So I live by that, honestly. No matter how well you've done, there's always room for improvement.
Kita kalau we ask this every single episode. Kalau kita kumpul all the quotes, kita boleh buat buku. All the quotes are really, really good, man. Yeah. Okay. The final one is the fictional character.
Favorite sporting fictional character.
Oh, fictional character.
Sporting.
Sing from Shaolin Soccer.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
fair.
It's fantastic, you know. He gathers all his brothers to play.
Fair.
Dia mana? That means Stephen Chow punya lah.
Stephen Chow.
Fair.
Alright, thank you so much, Khairul, for sharing in details actually about rugby. Sebab like we got, if kalau you guys macam rasa terlalu deep ke apa ke, korang tak sembang pasal rugby macam mana main ke macam mana. No, we already sembang it before.
Yes.
So you can catch the Shahril episode. It's season 1 episode 20 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So this is like a second part of rugby.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a third part and everything. But if you want to know about like the basics, you can go to the Shahril's episode.
You want to know more about what's going on in rugby outside Klang Valley? This is the episode.
Yeah, this
was the episode.
Yeah, and also in depth about like societies and everything. Yeah. Thank you so much for your sharing towards all these communities and societies. I did not know. Kalau aku tak tahu, apatah lagi orang-orang lain. So thank you juga kepada all the listeners yang dengar sampai hujung. And like anything, please follow Kemaman Rugby. If you want to know anything. Kalau tak duduk in Kemaman, just follow them, because you never know, diorang maybe you can have something to like network connection. Do follow and see how they are progressing. Please do follow them, because what they are doing now is something special, and I think it's really good, and I think that your future is very bright for Kemaman Rugby, and we from Better Call Sukan hope that.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you everybody. Also do follow Better Call Sukan on all social medias, and kalau korang ada apa-apa sukan, and if you guys are like Khairul, who is like wants to come and also share about his own society, please do come. Let us know. We will definitely call you. Right, Kal?
Yeah, Anak Boy will adjust.
Yes.
Bukan kita.
Our producers, Nak Boy, will always help you. Alright. So thank you so much, Khairul, for coming. Thank you to penonton dan pendengar for listening, and kepada yang main rugby, keep playing rugby, and kepada siapa yang nak cuba rugby, dipersilakan. There's always places to play. And kalau if you want to know anything, you can always contact DM je Kemaman Rugby. Alright, Kal, any words?
All good. Thank you so much, Arif.
Alright, with that, thank you everybody. My name is �12𝙇𝙊𝘾𝙄𝘃.
I'm Khairul.
I'm Khairul.
And we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Audio Plus.